Yo, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Foocast. My name is Finn, and we're joined by some newcomers, so let me just do the register real quick. Stuart, you here?
Yo,
Dylan, where you at?
Hentai.
Okay, nice. Robert.
yeah.
What? Dylan, this is your only chance to introduce yourself on your internet, and the first thing you say is hentai. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's the impression he wants to leave.
Can we do a
Let's have
duo?
it.
First impressions count. No, we're not redoing
Dude, you
this.
gotta start confidently, man.
You gotta
Aw.
start confidence. Alright, basically what we're going to be talking about today is, there's a bit of old news, but I've been busy, so basically what happened about more or less a month ago is the formation of Lucasfilm Games, and why that is so important is because back in the early 2000s, LucasArts Games was an amazing studio. They were basically pumping out Star Wars games every other year. This is the studio that gave us the first two Battlefront games, the Knights of the Old Republic, Republic Commandos, Lego Star Wars, and because Disney brought Star Wars, they shut that studio down for whatever reason and then gave the rights to EA. Now, since EA has had the Star Wars license since 2011, they've only given us 4 games. And out of those 4 games, basically 2 of them had massive controversies, being obviously Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. And all of a sudden, just boom, Lucasfilm Games was announced, and which means that EA still keep the license, but they're not exclusive to make games. So they have, I think, 2 years left on their contract, and then after that they still make games, but other publishers can still create games, as well as Ubisoft has announced we're getting an open world Star Wars game. And it's just great because it seems that we're coming back to the golden ages of Star Wars. And I thought I'd just make this podcast to talk about what games that we would personally like to see moving forward in the future. And that being said, Robert, I want to ask you, what Star Wars game would you like to see?
The one that's already being made.
Like,
Fucking, what do you call
the
it?
open world
Done by
game?
Ubisoft.
Oh, it's just,
Yeah.
I've...
I constantly talk about how much I want open world Star Wars game.
Yeah, all the time we always just like, if they make an open world Star Wars game, I'd like it to be like this, or we'd do it this way. And all of a sudden, it's just one day they just announced it. Like, how would you guys like to see it? Because I've seen some people say I'd like to be just a Jedi game, or I'd like it to be just a bounty hunter, and some people like it could be set in the Clone Wars original trilogy. Where would you guys really take this game?
I'd say have it be so you can choose who you are. Like Jedi, Sith, Bounty Hunter.
Yeah. Kind of like, I think
But I
there's...
just don't know where it would be set.
Yeah, I think if they're gonna set it around any time period, would you guys agree that it would best to be set around the either the prequels or the High Republic?
Uh,
No,
prequels
I
for more
think it would.
content.
I think it would.
I'd
it would
say
be-
post-original.
I would
would
probably
work, actually.
say. I would probably say either pre or during the original. So like possibly prequels and original.
Yeah, I've seen...
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the least controversial.
Yeah, I can't see it being in the sequel times whatsoever, because obviously some people will get angry about that. If they set... I'm fine with it either being High Republic, prequel, or original trilogy. But I can guess this game's going to go on for just years and years and years of updates. If they get original trilogy, I can't see them like having loads of content with it unless they make up some new stuff. If you know what I mean, because original trilogy, there's not like
I
that
could
many
see
planets to
them
go on.
doing I could see him doing it set after Return of the Jedi at some point, because then they could get more content from The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, it would just
True.
be
Have that
because the
come
new engines as well on the new consoles. It will basically, I can imagine, like say if I'd be on Tatooine doing whatever, and then Stuart would be on, for example, Ryloth, and then I get in a spaceship and I could just basically come and visit him. And more or less with the new engines, there wouldn't really be any like cutscenes. It will just flow so well. Like I could just jump in without any cutscenes and just land. Oh, it'd be so good. I really think that's what it's going to be about.
Autopilot would be great.
What'd you say, Dylan?
They've also
So
said
would it
it's
be
something
online?
never done before,
Yeah,
which has me curious.
I'd love it if, Because I've seen some people like, is it going to be Jedi? Is it just going to be just normal people? Is it going to be bounty hunter? I love it if you could combine all of them, where you could basically choose your own path.
Like a Sith
I'd love it
Mandalorian.
if you could just start as a nobody and then
Yeah,
just choose who you are from there,
like
and also have some predetermined path.
like say if you want to be Jedi, yeah, or it could be like that, or like in Destiny where you've got 3 different characters, and say if you're a Jedi and you're like, oh, I kind of want to be a Mandalorian, you could basically create a whole new character and basically just start from scratch that way.
Yeah, I get you.
And it will just be
Because
just,
like
yeah, go on.
you could be like get inducted into Mandalorians as well, since it's a creed.
There'll be just
That'd be fun.
imagine a
'Cause
character
each like
customization.
faction starts to have its own. That'd be
Yeah,
mad.
like imagine
And
character
if you have like
customization.
penis customization like Cyberpunk.
Oh my god, please do that. Imagine like one of those, you know those jazz players from A New Hope? Imagine that and you can customize your genitals on that. Because I can imagine
God,
that's
I
all
didn't
you'd
realise
run,
that.
that's all you'd run around as, Robert. That would just be you. All of us would be maxed out with like bear scar and you'd walk in like that. That's what you would do.
Dude,
He just
I'd want
walks
to
in
start
in
my massive schlong.
rags.
If Robert walks in a rags, just this peasant. All of us
I
would
mean,
be like,
rags are
As a
pretty
Mandalorian.
fashionable, man.
all of us would be like Mandalorians and Jedi, and Robert would just choose the life of like a farmer, just some boring ass farmer in like Mos Eisley or something.
Dude, it's a character arc, okay? Jesus.
Is like the most like interesting thing about his character. He's got some dry ass lips of being on Tatooine the
I'm a
whole
farmer.
time. Yeah, he's just a farmer.
Also, a question.
Dude,
Did
if I'm on
anyone else
if
hear
I'm on
that
a sand
massive,
planet,
that massive bang before I muted myself?
Nah, I didn't hear it.
no.
Okay, it was because
Did-
my,
did your
my
house blow
foot
up?
accidentally dragged my wire and I accidentally pulled my Xbox off its shelf.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Wait, what?
It's fine, I've got it. It didn't go far. I've put it back on.
Oh, just imagine being like,
Wait, I thought you said you pulled it off your shelf.
Yeah, because my controller wire.
yeah, but just imagine being like
wait,
a bounty
controller
hunter where you can be like, you could find other players online and you basically kidnap their bodies and you could basically like put them in carbonite, or just you know how the whole point of Mandalorian where he's looking for Baby
That would be
Yoda.
fun, but I could imagine getting annoying as well.
Yeah, or you know,
Yeah.
like in the Mandalorian where it's got that little tracking device. I was like, boop, 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 boop. You could basically like look for other players like that.
That would be fun. It'd be good to have like your own shape, have your own like customize it, your own like room.
Yeah, like to make
Maybe
your own
expand it.
ship.
There'll be so much
that'd be cool.
customization. I just love the whole. I
Especially
mean,
since this is years away.
yeah. It's like, say for example, we're all on Tatooine, we're all on speeders, and we're just going out into just the middle of nowhere, and we could come across some Jawas, and then we could basically trade with them. Or if we come across, like, say, a crate dragon, and we're like,
Murder
oh,
them.
yeah, or if we
Burn them
need to,
alive.
yeah, just murder some Jawas for no reason.
Well,
And
it's not no reason, but fucking disgusting.
Or,
They
like,
deserve to die.
if you come, if you come across like a crate dragon and we're like, oh, we need to kill this guy and get some XP and get some items, we could be, it basically might be like a mini boss fight or something.
Yeah.
And then we have to. Then
Cool.
we just have to jump into its mouth with a few explosives.
Oh my god.
Especially since it's Star Wars, they could cram a lot of content into it.
There's the
For a
thing,
free-world
there's
game,
an
or free
endless,
open world game.
there's an endless amount of content they can do. Like they can't run out really.
Well, they can, but it would just take a while.
But like even, yeah, but there's
So
just
then again,
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
was said about Battlefront 2.
Yeah, but the EA are just incompetent
Yeah,
in that game.
yeah.
They're stupid. Right, it's the thing. EA is sitting on a gold mine with Battlefront 2. They could add in Ahsoka, Mando content.
Dude,
Yeah, go on, you saying?
EA don't want money they want to actually give them. They want to force us to do it.
It just
That's
doesn't
their
make
thing.
any sense. EA love money, and just them releasing Mandalorian content around season 2. Do you know how many new players and how much money they get just from adding in like a Mando like full Beskar skin? Like even people who wouldn't even have Battlefront 2, they'd jump on just to buy that
Who
skin.
would have? Who would they put that on though?
What do you mean?
Like the skin?
What? Put the
Like,
Beskar
where
skin? They
would
put it
that
on
go?
Mando.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
go on
but-
the Mandos. You're not going to see a Jedi walk in a Beskar robe.
No, I was on about like. I
No,
didn't- I
someone's
didn't hear
literally
if you
going to be
said-
wearing his skin.
Yeah, you're hovering
Whoa.
over Yoda like, oh, there's a new Yoda skin. You select it and it's just Mando.
It's just a little Yoda with like.
yeah,
ears
it's just
sticking out
it's
the
just a small Mandalorian running around.
helmet. Dude. Grogu.
They could have
Grown up.
easily added so much more content to that game because they've had an extra 19 million players in 1 week. And I think it's because people want to play an act like a live service Star Wars game, and the only one like that right now is Battlefront 2. And they've missed.
Battlefront.
It's such a missed opportunity, especially like back when the game first came out. Why would you release it like that? Especially them doing no heroes from December of 2017 all the way to around September of 2018. Like in that time, if you had like a full-on dedicated studio rather than like the skeletal crew of a studio which they put on the game, they would have easily been around like what 6 heroes and villains.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't profit off that, but this is another thing I really want out of all of these
Could be,
games. Yeah, is a Battlefront 3.
That'll be epic.
Like,
Could
That
have
would be
like
pretty
3 storylines, 3 campaigns, I should say.
yeah, like it'll
Prequels
just
with
be.
another sequel.
It's because EA's obviously gonna be like, oh snap, we've got 19 million players, like in a week of a game that's been out.
People
for
like
almost,
Battlefront.
Yeah, and a game that's almost been out for like what 4 years, almost 4 years. They must look at that and be like, all right, people really want a Battlefront 3, and I'm going to be realistic about this. I think once development for Battlefield 6 starts to slow down at the end of this year, DICE are going to be like, okay, we're going to put full force on Battlefront 3. That's what I think they're going to do.
That would be good. Well,
That
nice
would be
to hear.
alright, yeah.
But I don't think they should announce it like whether that is going to be made until they're actually in development.
Yeah. I mean,
Because I just don't want to wait that long. I'm
Lucasfilm...
still waiting for like 5 years.
Yeah, Lucasfilm Games did say that there would be more Star Wars announcements this year, and the only place I can really see that happening is either at the end of this year, like Christmas time, or at EA
Yeah.
Play, which is around June. They could announce a new Star Wars game for the end of this year, because there are a few rumors that
Would
there's
they
going to
be
be...
announcing a new game, or would they just be putting more information down for the Ubisoft game?
I'm not sure if they could provide info on the Ubisoft game because it was like a different studio. They could just be like
Yeah.
share a title reveal for Battlefront 3 and be like, oh, it's in development. I can't see them
I'd be
having any
happy if they just came out
gameplay.
and said we're getting one last update for Battlefront 2.
I don't know why they didn't do that. They could easily just be like, oh, one last update. We're going to give you one Clone Wars map, Ahsoka and Ventress, a bunch of different skins, and then that'll be it. Like, if they just closed it off with just one last Clone Wars content by giving us the things that we've asked for since 2017, then I feel like the game would be
Yeah.
complete. But right now, it's just... If you look at Battlefront 2, the game feels like a launch game. Like,
Went
you've
from
only...
shit to gold.
Yeah, like you've only got it literally went from just like and then just gold. Like you've got it's my best example.
Weird
It went from to gold.
Went from, "Oh."
IGN gave an out of 10. and
Rambo. That's not a lot.
and it isn't a lot. And it's if you look at if you go into prequel supremacy, all you've really got is just Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda and Chewbacca. Like that just seems like just launch characters right there.
Shoot snacker. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
like
part-
characters you'd expect at
Dylan's
the launch
cutting
of the
out.
game. But
Yeah,
then
characters
for Battlefront
actually
2, they had
being
to
the
add,
launch of the game.
they had to
fucking
add
on.
half of them as DLC. Well, not DLC, but later on add updated characters.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's annoying.
I don't understand why they
What?
did that.
Wait, you carry on what you were saying.
Oh yeah, it's like if they released a Mortal Kombat game and added Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero as DLC. Like they launched the game without Anakin and Obi-Wan, basically the more or less main characters of not the whole of Star Wars, but just like
The
some of
The
the most
most well
yeah
known,
the
I'd say.
prequels. And it's
Especially
just
in a time when the prequels are loved.
yeah
And
they
they didn't even...
Yeah,
I'm
go on,
pretty
Dylan.
sure... I'm pretty sure Grievous was added later on as well. Like, he came with Kenobi and Anakin. I'm pretty sure Dooku too.
Yeah, these are launch characters. I don't understand how they just went, alright, we're just going to have... the DLC is going to be Anakin, Obi-Wan, Grievous, Count Dooku. Like, that's characters that should come with the game.
I don't get the thought process behind it at all.
It's stupid how they
It's
released...
just, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, they released Darth Maul at the start of the game.
And Yoda.
but they don't release the person who he fought.
Exactly. And
Dude,
it's
no one wants to see that.
I can't imagine just EA being like, alright, we're gonna have like half of the maps in this game are gonna be prequel, but there's only gonna be 2 prequel heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
What was the
stupid.
state of Battlefront 2 like at the beginning when it first launched?
Oh, I remember it. It
'Cause I
was
never actually
it
played
was
it.
so rough. I kid you not. You know how when they added the Age of Rebellion update when there was like Ewoks and all that. I kid you not, for almost like
Yeah.
3
Peacock.
years, the only things you could play as on the Rebel maps was just an aerial and a Wookiee warrior. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like you did an entire game before that just on the original trilogy era, and then they just basically just abandoned that on the reinforcement side. Like if you just got like a consistent set of skins and just reinforcements, like that's where they went wrong with it. It was quality content but
I
not
don't
a lot of it.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
that's
feels weird to say, but when Battlefront 2 initially launched, the original Battlefront 2 game had like more characters to play as,
I know.
which is weird
I
to
don't
say.
understand EA's way of thinking sometimes. Here's what's stupid,
Dude,
right?
money.
I remember when they were asking them, like, oh, would there be any Darth Vader skins? And the head of EA at the time said, oh, but no one wants a pink Darth Vader. Like, but no one asked for a pink Darth Vader. That's where you getting that from? Like, you could just add in like
I'd love a pink Darth Vader. That'd be terrifying.
a
Like
black
imagine
add
not
a
Darth
Holy King
battle
Vader.
Rogue
damage
One, but
Vader.
just pink Darth Vader.
Like add a battle damage Vader.
Exactly, and it's where you getting this idea from, and that's why I feel like they could improve upon all this in Battlefront 3 because it just feels like it's a launch game right now.
Yeah.
They could add so
It
much.
feels like this is the amount of content the game has now is what should have been in at launch.
Exactly,
That's basically
and like
where they've got it up to.
when Stuart said,
And to be honest,
because
they did a good job with what they've added.
yeah, they've done a really good job. I mean, considering EA was just like, all right, they basically split their development team in half. Like, if you're gonna make a comeback with the game, don't like split your work team in half. You want to have all like
Yeah.
development team
Weren't they
on.
working on weren't they working on something else as well?
They're working on Battlefield 5 at the time.
Uh,
And it was stupid because in that game's last update, they added in like what 6 maps, and in Battlefront 2's last update, it was like 1 new map, and they just went, all right, we're done with it. And I remember when Stuart said, because they were working on Battlefield 1 beforehand, and we were playing it, it was like, yo, why didn't they just add in the fact that you could get in tanks with other people, like in the game beforehand? Like, surely they have the assets for that.
yeah, especially since the that one's like fucking how old is that now? Like 15
Which one?
years old?
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1, yeah.
Oh,
That
not
came out
Battlefield 1.
2016.
I was referring to what do you call it?
First Battlefront.
The version of Battlefront 2.
Oh, the original Battlefront.
Oh,
That was
2005.
2005, yeah.
Yeah, 15.
You know
The same year Republic Commando released.
what is exciting?
Public
There was an
cock.
insider for what was I gonna say? Lucasfilm, and he said that the future of Star Wars games is looking so bright it's gonna rival how it was back in 2005. And in 2005 we had the
If
release
it
of.
does, I'll jizz myself.
Okay, nice. And back in 2005 we had Revenge of the Sith, the Revenge of the Sith game, first Lego Star Wars, Republic Commandos, the first Knights of the Old Republic. Like, if he said that is gonna rival how it was back in 2005, like, we're in for a lot of really good games.
Mm.
Yeah. I wonder what games they could make as well.
I just want a
Like
Battlefront 3.
excluding open world.
I would love a Rainbow Six Siege inspired game where you know how in Rainbow
That'd be fun.
you know how in Rainbow there's like different characters. It'd be cool if different operators there'll be
Yeah.
different clone troopers, like there'll be Rex, Fives, Echo. and-
Different droids.
Yeah, like it'd just be cool every
Stormtroopers,
game where they'd be like,
level.
yeah, who you gonna go for? Oh, I'm gonna go for Five this game. Actually, no, I'm gonna go for Echo or something like that. That would just be so cool.
Could go for
That'll be
Commander
fun.
Cody.
Yeah, there's so much you could do with that.
Commander Cock Cody.
Is that his middle name? Cock Cody.
Yeah,
Is it
they
now?
named him that after that for his PP.
And what was I gonna say? I just want a Battlefront 3 so bad. It's because I just want a multiplayer game which it just feels to the point where, okay, we've got everything. I
I
don't know
just
what
want
else
a
to ask
game
for.
that's released on launch and is actually complete.
Yeah, like because Battlefield when it released, it was just like, okay, this feels like a beta right now. And because Battlefield 3, what can they do?
Yeah.
They could easily add a campaign where it's like, what we're gonna do?
Like 3 different campaigns.
Yeah, or say you can have a campaign which is set at the end of the Republic about a clone going through Order 66, and then that could maybe transition into the original trilogy era, and then that same
Yeah.
character could maybe more story DLC you could end up in the sequel trilogy. So what you've got a campaign that goes
Well, I
through
think he'd
all
probably
three
be dead by
eras.
then.
Yeah, yeah, he would be dead by then.
I mean, they could do like a little bridge gap where it's like after Return of the Jedi.
But yeah,
That'd be interesting.
I
And
just
then
think
a separate campaign for the First Order and shit.
a majority of the players would have a campaign set in the prequel times because that's the most popular era right now. And the thing
Yeah.
that
It's the right now it's the one that has I think the most what do you call it? Fucking the most
the
fan
most
base?
story
yeah
to tell.
yeah there's so many stories you can do from that. And what EA is doing right now, why I don't understand why they're not capitalizing on that. All the games they're shoving out now is just set in the original trilogy era. Like that's not the
I
only era of
love
Star
a Boba
Wars.
Fett game actually, now that I think about it.
I would love a actually
It'd be
yeah.
like the original Jango Fett Bounty Hunter game, but Boba Fett.
I mean,
With better graphics.
they could always do that, but because we don't really know much on what happened to Boba after Order 66 and just the years before A New Hope happens, they could always just use that game to just bridge
Yeah,
what
that'd be
happened
actually cool.
Yeah,
They could
that'd be so
explore how he
good.
became like the most notorious bounty hunter, and how Vader came to like be like, hey, this is the guy the Empire needs.
They
That's
almost
how he betrays him in the Mandalorian.
they almost finished doing a game like that. It was called Star Wars 1313, and I think it was
Oh,
about
I
yeah.
thought
Do
it
you
was a
remember?
show.
Yeah, no, it was a series. No, a game. I mean,
Oh,
and it was basically it was either a young Mandalorian or a young Boba Fett, and it was basically him like learning to be like the best bounty hunter. It was around like on
yeah.
Coruscant on different planets, and he was
So
so
that
close to
just sounds
finishing
that
it.
sounds really cool.
I just love a game like that. I mean, I think
I'd love to explore it more in this type of stuff more in games rather than TV shows.
I
I
think
don't know why. I just feel
yeah.
like I feel more connected to it in games.
I feel like Fallen Order was more like a test for EA. Like, okay, we're gonna have a single player
Yeah.
character set around the prequel, like the aftermath of the prequel trilogy. And
Yeah.
now that that game was so successful, they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna bridge that
Yeah.
off
Fan
into
reception
other
that was really good.
stories. They can easily do that,
Yeah.
and they've just, if you think about it, right? I think that they're not gonna be any new games from other publishers besides EA coming out in the next 2 years because they've still got 2 years of their exclusive license, and that runs out
Well,
at the end of 2023. What were you saying, Dylan?
I was just saying, well, I'm not sure that's 100% true. I'm pretty sure they've kind of lost the exclusivity in total, like altogether. I'm pretty sure they've gotten rid of that.
Yeah, I was just saying that if they still have 2 years left on their license, after that they could still make Star Wars games, but that could be the end of their exclusivity.
Mm.
And
Yeah, I think it's they've ended their exclusivity deal with EA,
yeah,
but they're still making games for them.
I feel like Lucasfilm Games, or just Lucasfilm in general, were just not happy with the way EA was just sort of going about it, because there's so
Especially
many.
after all the fans were fucking complaining.
Yeah,
We
like-
were all complaining like,
Yeah.
but no, like the only Mandalorian content we really got from any of their games was like a Baby
Boba
Yoda keychain on like the cockpit of your X-wing and squadrons.
that's what the fans want.
It's really not. I don't ask
We don't
for
want
it.
actual games.
A
we want
little baby
keychains.
Yoda.
I want a pink Darth Vader. Where's that at?
Yeah, man.
Mm.
That's exactly what everyone wants.
I want a fucking keychain of Punkwell.
Oh my god! If they
Let's
added a
think about
Ponkrell
Ponkrell.
DLC,
I want one of-
like EA would make so much
I want
money.
one of Thrawn.
Piece of shit of a game.
Shut up about you and Thrawn, Dylan. If you guys don't know, Dylan is obsessed with
Did you bring
Thrawn.
up Thrawn again?
Every single time we
Yes,
go on
he's
call,
my
he always goes, "Oh my god, guys, you know who my favorite Rebels characters are?" I'm like, "Oh,
Me,
go
Grand
on."
Admiral Thrawn, I fuck his dick.
Yeah, and he's like Grand Admiral
Obviously, it's
Thrawn.
Thrawn. He needs to
Not
be a
just any
character
Grand Admiral
in
Thrawn,
Battlefront 3.
but Tank Top Thrawn.
And I think, what was I gonna say? I think because if EA's just gonna go about making more games like Squadrons, who is just I really like it's.
Oh, that's a good game for a short time I played
Yeah,
it.
it's just a really small scale Star Wars game, only like marketed for like a small group of people. But if they're just gonna keep releasing
Yeah.
like really small games like that, that's not gonna be enough. Like we want like Battlefront level
Yeah,
games.
true.
And I think, if you think about it, right, I'm pretty sure because Fallen Order 2 is very far into development. We're getting another Lego Star Wars game, which is the biggest Lego game they've ever made. Open world Star Wars games at development. There's been rumors of another
I
Knights
expect
of
that to release. Well, I
Yeah,
expect that to release within like.
I'm
I don't know. When would they actually?
um
Right now, from the announcement, when would you expect that to release?
or Battlefront 3.
No, the open world one
Oh, open world
by
game.
Ubisoft.
Being
That's
realistic,
years away, but
maybe 2023. Maybe.
I was thinking 2023 to 2025.
Because it's not really clear on how far into development they are on it. They just announced it. They didn't give any other details. They just said we're making an open world Star Wars game.
Do you think they started development on it?
Oh, they've definitely started development
I would have
onto it.
assumed. I would have assumed
'Cause
they would have probably
They've
started
definitely got a plan
development.
for it.
Hang on, Dylan, what were you saying?
I would have assumed they
It's
would
not
have
like they
probably.
just
Robert,
announced
shut up.
that they're doing it.
What are you saying, Dylan?
I was just saying, I would have probably assumed they would have at least like had ideas of starting development, either starting it around the time of saying like around the releasing of the final Battlefront 2 update, maybe like a few months after that.
Maybe. I can see that happening, but you know,
Mm.
like Rockstar makes these big open world games. I feel like Ubisoft are going to be like, okay, we've got the Star Wars license. This needs to be huge. Like Red Dead Redemption 2,
Yeah.
that took ages for it to come out. GTA 5 takes ages for it to come out. I feel like it's going to be a while until we
And
even
it's still
get
one of the
like
most popular games.
yeah, until we even get like a trailer for it. I think when it releases that open world Star Wars game, there's going to be, if they do it
If
right.
we
hmm
wait, I was gonna say if we do get some sort of trailer at some point, like the first trailer, I reckon it will just be what they did with Elder Scrolls, where it's just like a planet and then just Star Wars and then whatever the name is.
Yeah, and
And
it's
then
basically.
that would be the most like that would be what we're here for like a year or two.
Yeah, it's basically if they get it nailed to start off with and people just really enjoy it at launch, they could just keep branching that and just do content for that for years to come. Just non-stop updates like GTA and
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption. They would make bombs
And
of
Warframe.
money on that. They'd make so much money on that.
But nothing like don't as long as it's not like cheap content that we release after the main update.
Oh,
Because like
yeah.
sometimes after games do that, some of the updates and like the content that I can feel a bit like, could have been a bit better. Even though I still like what I got, but you know.
Yeah, they could always add in like new planets, just new like locations, new weapons. I mean, even just a small update where they add in just an outfit from a Star Wars comic book or some part of the film.
Or a new blaster.
Yeah, exactly. They would just make. There's so.
Or
I mean,
farmer update.
yeah, a farmer update. Yeah, because that's gonna bring a lot of people in, isn't it, Robert? A farmer update.
Dude, it'll bring me in. I just want to be a farmer
Why do you want to be a farmer so bad?
so that I can get invaded.
That's a terrible character arc,
That's my
Robert.
dream job.
That's awful. You want to
It
be a
is.
farmer just so you can be
Dude,
invaded.
it's more of a character arc than Finn had in the sequel.
Uh-huh. And what planet would you be a farmer
enough.
on? And what would you farm?
Hoth.
Oh, I'd
be
farm
on-
like
he'd
dead
be-
corpses.
Oh
You'd be
yeah.
a farmer on Hoth.
That's a terrible place to be a farmer on Hoth. Nothing's gonna grow there. It's
No, I
gonna
can
freeze.
like farm snowballs.
You can't grow
throw 'em at the
frozen
Empire.
peas,
He
Robert.
grows icicle.
You gotta.
You can't, dude. Trust me, you
He
can't.
grows icicles.
Trust me.
I mean, it would just be. Just think about it, right? We're getting. I can't see us getting like 2 games a year. At least not right now because
Nah,
COVID.
I
What's going
can't.
on in the world? Because everyone's gonna be working
Well,
at home.
I can't see us getting 2 games a year by the same company.
Yeah, like they could have
I
one.
could see maybe
Mhm.
EA and Ubisoft if they do like maybe EA and Ubisoft might do a thing where it's like, well, we'll release this year, you release next year, and then go in that pattern.
Yeah, or like
Oh,
say
kind of like,
yeah
kind
yeah
of like, kind of like with Treyarch,
Yeah, that's
Infinity
what.
Ward,
Yeah,
and Sledgehammer Games. How one will
yeah.
release a game one year, then then the next another company, and then the same repeats.
it could basically be
Yeah,
like as soon as a
that
game
seems to be
comes
a working
out, like
formula.
say if as soon as a game comes out, as that game's being in development, I mean as that game's getting updated, as soon as that game starts to get like less updates, another game would come out. You know what I mean? You know, like with Call
Yeah.
of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like what. Although I think the games would take a bit more to develop, and
Hmm.
they wouldn't release them yearly.
Yeah. There's tons of rumors going around about like Battlefront 3 and what's going on with the Knights of the Republic games. And I'm gonna be honest, I think some of those are likely to be true and others not because there's a Battlefront 3 leak out there and it's just listing that we're gonna get IG-11 as a hero, we're gonna get this and that, but like there's no
That'd be
way.
cool.
Yeah, but I can see
Thing
that
is, though,
happening.
that's just bullshit anyone can make up.
Yeah, that's
Like, I
the
could go on
thing.
Reddit right now, make a post, and be like, "Hey, I'm an insider at EA,
Yeah,
and
and
this is
that would
what's
be
coming, and
uploaded
it's
to
this
loads of
bunch of
videos.
characters."
Like these people don't
Yeah,
have any sources, and people are like, "Oh, take this with a grain of salt." And they say in the leak,
sources
like
do trust me.
they say in the leak that that game has been in very early development, and then yet they're like, "Oh, it's going to release on this day." But how would you know that? Sort of thing. How would you know the exact number of heroes
Yeah.
the game's going to get? Like that wouldn't have been decided just yet. It would be if it's early in development, it would be like basically creating
The
like the new
pause
engine.
menu will look like this specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the type of
You
bullshit
wouldn't
I
know
get
that.
here from those rumors.
I do believe the Knights of the Old Republic rumours because it's been reported from Bespin Bulletin, who are the same people who reported like the Lando show and all the different like Star Wars shows before they were even announced, and they're basically going to say they've gone on to say that EA aren't developing it, and it's meant to be either a
Hmm.
reboot or a remake, and I do believe that
Wait,
leak.
who do you think will be developing it then?
They've gone on to say
Do you
that
think it'll be Ubisoft?
I don't think it'll be Ubisoft because I think they're too busy with their other game. I think it's a different studio.
Unless
Mhm.
it's kind of the same game.
What do you mean?
If you get what I mean.
Well,
Like, what if the night? Wait, is it a remake? Wait,
they
what do you mean?
they
Like,
never specified
what's
if
the
it's going to
report
be
about
a
the game?
remake or a remaster or just a reboot or anything.
If it's a reboot or remake, I could see it being Ubisoft and just making an open world game.
I could see that,
Because
but I think that,
Ubisoft do have experience with those types of games.
I mean, for all you know, the open world game could be Knights of the Old Republic. I think those are two different things. If anything, I think it's a studio we don't know about just yet. And because I've seen some people saying, oh, it could be BioWare because they did the original. The Bespin Bulletin said that it's not BioWare, but they don't know which studio it is just yet.
I'm trying to think, if it's not Ubisoft or EA, I'm trying to think which studio would be most likely to do it.
I'm not sure which. I don't really know a lot of game studios. And another thing, I can see them doing a sort of remake because a lot of game studios they want to have their games in like Star Wars canon, so they could always just remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could always just remake the first game and then maybe go on to the second one, but basically change things to make it so it fits into canon. Like I can see that happening because I think everyone wants to have like Revan and
I
like
can see that
Malgus and all
happening
that jazz into
too.
canon.
That'll be the Old Republic then as well.
Yeah, I'm so happy about how they're just handling Star Wars games right now. It went from being just like, oh,
Yeah.
if we got an open world game, we could do this, but that will never happen because EA won't do it. I mean, now, if EA not going to do it, then just someone else has done it
I
now.
find it funny because a week before they announced the open world Ubisoft Star Wars game, I was talking to Stuart about a Star Wars open world game, about how much I love it, and then like a week later they announced they're doing it, and I was like, oh, great,
I
that'd be
know.
good.
I've got loads of friends where I talk about how we just, oh, I'd love an open world Star Wars
I thought I was
game.
the only friend.
Yeah, excuse me. No, you ain't my only friend. I got loads of friends. And
Oh,
then like,
I'm sad.
literally like the next few weeks, all of a sudden I'm just chilling on Instagram and just open world Star Wars game was announced. I'm like, yo, this came out of nowhere. I have a lot of
I
confidence for the
could see them
future.
capitalizing off the Mandalorian though.
Oh,
and
definitely.
just making it so you play Mandalorian.
I really can see them doing a Mandalorian game, like the Boba Fett game that we mentioned. If not, they could do Boba, but
It would be so cool to like change, like get different armors for your Mandalorian, change the color scheme. It would be so
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, they would just. I mean, just adding different armors to the game and just even have the title of just
If it
Mandalorian in the
is
title, they get
just
so
a
much money.
Mandalorian game where if it's just a game where you play as a Mandalorian, like with no alternatives, you can't be a Jedi or a Sith or whatever, where do you think, what time period would they set it in?
I have no idea. If anything,
Because
I think it's better for them to do a Boba Fett game because I can't really see where they'd put the Mandalorian, like as a game. Like where would it be set? I think it'd be best if they do a
yeah,
Boba.
I could see them doing it post Return of the Jedi, and just like just make up a new group of Mandalorians.
Yeah, or even they could just
That'd probably be the simplest.
they could explore Boba
Ooh, you could
after he
make
got out the
maybe.
Sarlacc pit, but I don't think that happened. Yeah, what were you saying, Dylan?
The entire game is just him calling.
I
Yeah,
was
it-
gonna say if I had an idea. I was gonna say if I had an idea for a Star Wars game, a Mandalorian game would be pretty cool, and you could make your own clan.
Uh-huh.
That would be fun.
So like,
You could
You wanna
choose
make
like
your own
what planet,
clan?
like
it would basically
what
kind of
logo
be
you
like,
have.
it would basically kind of be like, Rise of Kingdoms, the mobile game, where you
Right.
would make your own. You could make your own clan, your own Mandalorian clan, and you'd have to
butcher
expand
clan.
it and try and like basically conquer Mandalore under your own rule.
That would be fun.
Imagine like with the in Call of Duty, they've got like you're an emblem editor. How cool it could be! You can basically make your own emblem, and it could give you like different.
Because you
tools.
could like make statues out of the emblem you choose as well.
That would be
You know
so
what I mean?
cool. That would just be so cool where like you add a bunch of people to your clan and then there could be a little hub where you could just walk around and then like you could set up like like in Red Dead Redemption
It
we
would
could have
also
different
work
camps.
as well with the Mandalorian being a Creed also.
Yeah,
You could like maybe get some NPCs as well.
that would work super
You could
well.
choose also what kind of Mandalorians you want to be, whether it's like fighters or pacifists.
Yeah.
But
Or
obviously everyone would choose fighters because they're much cooler.
everyone would imagine if there was an option where like if you took your helmet on you instantly just got banned. Like, oh, you're no longer Mandalorian, you can't play this game anymore. That'd be a great mechanic.
Get banned from the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, you
forever.
get banned. Like in Rainbow, if you shoot someone, or if you even just take your armor off, you get banned.
You're just not allowed to show your face at all.
If there's anything you're most excited for, it would be the open world, wouldn't it, Robert?
Oh, definitely.
What would it be for you,
I love
Dylan?
open world games.
What would what be for me?
What would your most anticipated game be?
One that's already in development, or like
Or just
Just whatever you want.
just whatever you want.
um.
Here we go. Where's this going?
Either the third Battlefront or or possibly like I said a Mandalorian game where you can create your own clan.
Yeah,
I
That'd be
really
pretty
thought you was going to say Young Admiral Thrawn.
yeah. There's like a Thrawn spin-off game.
Or a or
Teenage
actually
Thrawn.
no
Thrawn's in school.
a game based on the uprising of Thrawn.
Oh, for God's sakes. For
You
me,
shouldn't
it would
have
be
gave me the
Battlefront
idea.
3 because it's gone to the point where like I've played Battlefront 2 so much, like I still love the game, but it's just like okay, I've done everything now. I've basically brought every single item in the game, and I've got so much credits where I can't buy anything else because there's not that many skins in the game. If they just added
And then
Battlefront
you can
3,
trade it off.
yeah, and just had a really good skin system, and they be consistent with the updates. Where, say, if like for example, we get a Rebels update, we get 2 characters on a map, and then like in between, like say if there was a month with like only maps or heroes, they could fill that in with events or skins, and they'll get so much money and just
Yeah.
so many players just from doing
They
that.
could even make stuff. They could make up their own skins as well if they wanted.
Yeah, like say I remember back in the time where they were developing a Battlefront 3. They had concept art of like an alternate universe where it was like a good side Vader or like a dark side Obi-Wan. They could always have like events where you could get like a dark side Luke Skywalker, for example. Or
Oh,
just even
that
make up
actually
outfits.
reminds me of what they did in Revenge of the Sith, the game, where if you go into the dueling section, like if you both pick Count Dooku, one of you would be like the normal Count Dooku, which is usually player 1, and then player 2 would be Count Dooku with like a green lightsaber and a different shades of colours on the suit.
Yeah, I can see them doing
They
that.
could always do something like that.
And I think the thing that everyone wants to see is just ground to space combat.
Young and kill over game mode.
Oh my god, could you imagine that? Actually, no, I want an Order 66 game mode.
That'd be terrifying.
That would be so good.
Yeah.
It
That'd
would be
that'd
interesting, yeah.
And I think what everyone wants to
I
see
mean,
is...
the clones will probably get their asses kicked.
Yeah, they would do. Like, imagine people on PC as the Jedi. And I think what people want to see the most is like a ship to ground combat, especially in Supremacy Web. Because in Battlefront 2, you jump in a spaceship.
Galactic Conquest.
Yeah, you jump in a tank, and the moment you leave the tank, you just like the tank explodes instantly. Like,
course,
because that's not how
because
tanks
tank-
work.
Well, yeah.
Or like in Battlefield 1, where you could
I
all
think
go
it
in
would
the
just be
same
so cool.
tank.
To have that, where you can like be on the ground but get in the ship and fly up to the enemy ship.
Yeah, like say
And
if I'm
just
on
take
the
it down.
Like, say if I'm on the ground, I'm like, okay, guys, I need picking up, and then you could fly down, and then I could get in the ship, and we could literally just fly upwards and just go into space, and we could join like a battle in space. Then, like, that would just be, that would be so good. I don't think they could do that with
Be
the
amazing.
technology
Ooh,
they have now, but
And
with the new engines.
if they did do something like that, an interesting idea would be so you could someone could start you and your friends, someone could start a raid, and then all your friends are alerted to what planet it's on and what the difficulty level is of the raid. So then, if they needed to, they could join in.
Oh, that
Is
would
this
be
about
so
the
good.
Mandalorian game you're on about?
Oh no, he's on about Battlefront 3, I think anyway.
Oh.
No, I'm on about like I'm on about like the open world.
Oh, open
Oh,
world.
okay. Yeah. That would be fun, actually.
Like, I can just see them doing, like, there's literally endless possibilities of things they can do. There's like so many different games, movies, TV shows, books. There's so much lore they can just put into anything. And even if they run out, which they never would do, they just be like, oh, here's a new planet we've made up, and here's a new alien species.
Yeah, thing is, they wouldn't run out just because the amount of content that would be coming out from the TV shows as well.
Exactly. They'd get so much money from it. Even just on skins or anything.
Mm.
Did you hear about those rumours? But I think they're fake. But did you hear about the rumours about Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 3?
I didn't hear
Oh,
them.
it
They're
won't
probably
happen.
false.
It won't happen.
It won't happen.
It won't happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it's fake. But if it did, that'd be pretty epic.
Oh, it would do.
Yeah.
I really want to see Starkiller into canon, but I can't see them like making another story and like changing it to fit into canon without
The only
without
way I could see it
getting people
working
annoyed.
is if they retcon him to be an Inquisitor.
And I
That
wouldn't like that.
Vader. Well, I was gonna say an Inquisitor, but like Vader is making him pretend to be an Inquisitor, but he's secretly like a Sith apprentice.
Yeah,
Mm.
I can't see them like changing things
That's like the
to
only way I
please
could see it
everyone.
happening.
Honestly,
Yeah.
they don't need to change Starkiller's character
Yeah,
into a canon.
I
He's
think
already
they should
he's
leave it,
cool,
to be honest with you.
He's cool enough being non-canon.
Exactly.
All the cool characters stay in Legends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can see them doing Revan and Malgus and Nihilus and all that if they just
I
make
can see
like...
them being hinted at existing,
Yeah.
like just small
Bane, mate.
references.
Bane as well, mate.
Yeah, Bane's already
Bane's already
canon.
existing in canon.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really can
He
see
was in
them just
Clone Wars.
making a Knights of the Old Republic game and just fitting that into
What about
canon.
Nihilus?
He's not canon, but he should be.
I don't really know
Yeah.
much about Knights of the Old Republic, but are there any changes they could make that would drastically affect the story in order to fit it into canon?
I'm not
Hmm.
sure. I've never actually played Knights of the Old Republic.
I know some stuff, but I don't think it'd be that much to change it to canon. Maybe some certain characters.
Yeah, because it's more or
That
less like
kind of,
a different time period.
yeah.
And I think just most
Still
people
see it being
want
a
to
thing,
see...
though.
I think just most people want to see Revan in canon anyways.
Yeah, people do. He's gotten really popular over the years.
I know. He's probably like one of the most talked about Star Wars characters now, and yet he's not even canon. Yet, at least.
He's one of the more popular
That's
Sith
the
characters.
power of legend.
Exactly.
Who would be the most popular character? Probably fucking Grogu.
Probably. Or now these days. It just from him being cute, he's probably the most popular Star Wars character. Probably even more than Mando. Like if you ask any teenage white girl, they'd be like, who's
Probably.
who's the Mandalorian? I all I know is Baby Yoda. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
cancelled now, aren't I?
probably.
I'm gonna get cancelled for making fun of teenage white girls.
That's you, man, not me.
Oh,
I'm out.
whatever.
I'm not a part of that.
You can't cancel me. Right, in conclusion, right, in conclusion, right, Lucasfilm Games, there's an endless possibility for it, and even if there's one game that lets me down, there's loads of other different studios that'll be making Star Wars games. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a different gold
Why?
age, the golden ages.
Why did they have to call it Lucasfilm Games and not just Lucas Games again?
It was LucasArts before.
Oh, LucasArts.
Yeah,
Why not
Lucasfilm
just
Games.
Lucas Games?
I don't know. I think they want to just like create something new. Just start from scratch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. So I think
I've also
yeah.
I've
go on.
also just noticed we've done this whole thing and Stuart left like halfway through.
I know he left
Oh
like in
yeah,
the
he
first 10
told me
minutes.
his thing was disconnecting.
That
fair enough.
sucks. Poor Stuart's Wi-Fi. Anyway, right. Are you guys good to
His
wrap up?
Wi-Fi shit.
I know it is. You guys good to wrap up?
Yeah, I'm good to wrap up
This has
with
been
you.
pretty good, right? My pizza's in the oven. I'm pretty hungry, right? So thank you guys for listening. We
Your-
really
Your
appreciate it.
pee?
My pizzas.
Oh.
Idiot. Well, we appreciate
Not
it.
an idiot.
We appreciate you
I'm a
guys
twat.
listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.
And maybe we'll be in the next one.
Maybe you will. Maybe you won't.